guys, it's Melissa. I am back with another update on the xTool UV printer. This is exciting. Today they have unveiled some accessories that are going to be able to use with the xTool UV printer. So if you watch my previous videos, I gave you that first look straight from CES, and then I had another video where we talked about the print height, what you're going to be able to put in there as far as the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis, right? So now, and I'm going to link to all of those in the description below, but now we have more information about the xTool UV. We still have a lot of questions, but now we're getting more information. So first up, flatbeds. I'm going to preface this by saying that the xTool UV will be my fourth UV printer, my fourth flatbed UV printer. Okay, so I am not inexperienced when it comes to flatbed UVs. Just so you will hear me compare, oh, this one has this, or this one has this, or this is what's nice about this. And that's just from experience. I do that to help you decide in your buying decision. And also while we don't know the price, to anticipate, okay, this is different, so it's probably going to be a little bit more, or this may be an add-on. Okay, with that said, two flatbeds, right? So what you're going to have is a small flatbed, which is going to be about 13, that's the width, by 5. Okay, so it's going to be a long rectangle. Now, what is the benefit of that? I'm just going to show you. It's probably going to be about this size, to be honest. So the benefit of having a small flatbed is that you have something that works when you just have something small that you need to put into your UV. So if you have the large flatbed, which is going to be 13 by 16, and you only are printing something small like this, what happens is the camera needs to read the entire flatbed to see where your item is. The larger the flatbed, the longer it takes to do that. So if you have something small, it's actually time saving. You're going to save time by just using the smaller flatbed. Okay, so there's that. So the small one, xTool says, is designed for keychains, phones, jewelry, small accessories. You can see that I used something very similar. I'm going to talk about these more in a minute. Something like this would not fit on the small flatbed. Again, we said 13 by 5. This is larger than that. So even though it is a smaller item, you're going to need to use the larger flatbed. Now, what we don't know is if they will both come with the machine or if one is going to be an add-on accessory. Okay, they will both have a slightly sticky surface. That is really important because you want your item to stick, but not stick too much, right? So let's say you have something like this. You don't want to just put it on a flatbed where it can easily be moved around, because if your item moves or shifts, is blown by air, something at all, while it's printing, you're going to get a blurred or distorted image. So you need it to basically stay still. All right, so it's going to have some type of flat, sticky surface. Now, I will say those are typically a replacement for suction. So I have the Epson V1070 UV that I have uses suction. It has holes all over the flatbed, and you turn it on and it holds the item there with air. The UV Make that I have uses a similar type setup as what the xTool UV is going to have. And then I have another one, a Pro Colored, which doesn't really have anything, and it's not super great for keeping your things in place, especially if you have a sheet of UV DTF, and we'll get more to that in a minute. Okay, my assumption, and xTool didn't say this specifically, but my assumption is that the pieces that you can put on the flatbeds, the sticky pieces, you'll be able to replace, right? Because if you get overspray, you'll need to replace them. Okay. Rotary attachment. So that is super important if you want to print directly on water bottles, mugs, tumblers, wine glasses, things like that. So the way that the tumbler attachment works, the item will go in like this, or it'll have something like this, and it'll rotate around while it's printing. Now, why is that so important? What you want to do is make sure that the rotary holds your item in place evenly and rotates at the same time as the print head moves across, right? So this one's just flat, but and I didn't print this with a rotary. This one is actually a wrap. I printed as a DTF wrap, but that's how it's going to work. You need to make sure that the rotation is in sync with the print head. And that's what the rotary attachment is going to allow you to do so that you can print all the way around. We do not know, and it's unlikely, if you will be able to print all the way around if there is a handle. Now this handle is removable, so possibly with something like that. But if you have, like, let's say you have a glass like mason jar and it has a handle on there, it's probably not going to be able to rotate all the way around. Okay. Laminator attachment. Now this I find very interesting. The reason is because I have, as I said, the other 3 UV printers. They all have the ability to print on UV DTF, a sheet of UV DTF. You basically put it on the flatbed like this. You peel off the top so that it can print, and then then it comes off with your stickers, and then you put it in a separate laminator. xTool is calling their laminator an attachment. And the way that it looks, and I'm going to show you a picture, it locks into the UV printer itself. It looks like there's a little electric, like a little port that it's going to pull power from the machine itself. All right, so what you're going to do, as I said, and I'm not going to peel this off because once I do, but you have this sheet that's called the A sheet, right? So this that I'm peeling right now is just the liner. It's the protective liner. There's a sticky part underneath. That's what needs to be exposed while you're printing. The sticker gets printed there. White, the CMYK, and then some type of gloss. Then, with xTool, it is going to, with the laminator attachment, laminate. Why do you need to laminate? Well, once you laminate, and this one's already laminated, so I'm going to show you, what happens is you will then peel off. You'll be able to peel away. The sticker is going to be able to be peeled away. This is the piece that it was printed on, okay? And this up here is the laminate. So that is how you're going to transfer your sticker. Now this one doesn't have a whole lot of white because I'm putting it on a light color background, so it didn't really need a lot of white, but so I'll show you. I'm just gonna put it on here, okay? So it's picking up, and then it really needs to be like burnished down, and then you peel this part off. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. So the benefit of this is if you have an item that can't fit in your UV printer, or you want to just sell the transfers, the sticker transfers themselves, you can do that. All right, so that's a big one. I'm really interested to see the laminator attachment, which just sounds like it actually attaches to the base unit itself. So let's say you want to make stickers for your helmet. Let's say you want to make panels for your car, something for like a curve, something that's curved. Large objects like a skateboard, for example, they can't fit in the machine, right? But you can print them on the laminate. I mean, you can print them on the A sheet, the UV. Now, that brings me to the next accessory, which is the roll-to-roll feeder. This is going to open up the ability, and a lot of people were asking, like, is there going to be a pass through? Well, the roll-to-roll feeder is essentially going to give you the ability to print on an extended piece of A sheet. Then it'll laminate it, so you can use both in conjunction with the other, the roll-to-roll feeder and the laminator, all in one. I'm really interested to see how this is all set up. And you'll be able to print long prints. All right, so it'll be maxed out at the width, 13 inches or so. 12 inches, whatever it's going to be. And then, but you will have less of a limit lengthwise. All right, so details, supports materials up to 49 inches. And we're not just talking about stickers, right? You would be able to use canvas prints or like canvas in there. So think banners. You can put continuous sticker sheets for gang sheets, things like that. Any type of material that comes on a roll, you will be able to use. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to just mention to you is there will be, of course, bundles that you can select with your printer. So the printer, the xTool UV, we don't know exactly what it's all going to come with. Again, I'm assuming it's going to come with one, potentially two of those flatbeds. For sure, the roll feeder, the laminator, the rotary are all going to be add-ons though, okay? So which one do you need? And that's really up to you. Like if you already have a shop that is selling cups and vinyl decals and different things like that, then you may want to add the Rotary right away. If you are already selling decals and stickers and you're doing print and cut with them, this is a good option for you. So you might want to add the Laminator and the roll-to-roll feeder. So it really is up to you, but they will all come, there will be bundles available. Now, if you want to make sure that you are staying up to date on all of the xTool UV announcements, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm going to throw a link below so that you can sign up to get email notifications. I will be sending those out as well. And I think that's pretty much it. We still don't really know what the prices are going to be for the accessories. We don't know the pricing for the machine itself. We know that xTool has said that it's going to be affordable, although that is, subjective. And we don't know the exact launch date. So there's still a lot of questions up in the air, but we are getting more and more information about what to expect when this xTool UV flatbed comes out. All right, guys, see you soon.